Today in society, we have all been led to believe that no one can change. We can't change our opinions, our thoughts, feelings, the way we live. But we see people promote these unrealistic lifestyles and promote it by saying, do something X or do this X in amount of time to achieve X. Well, to do that, you need to change, and sometimes it just comes naturally. However, this is not one of those videos. I believe that for us to change, we have to be comfortable with outgrowing old versions of ourselves. And sometimes it can feel confusing, but it does feel empowering. Hello, and welcome back to Gentleman's Guide to Cosy Living, where I like to explore a variety of everyday topics to help the everyday gentleman or individual who's watching this video a cozy lifestyle. So, have you ever noticed with yourself that your old routines no longer satisfy you? Or you see growth that is no longer linear, or you feel less interested in things that no longer excite you? Well, some of those signs are you actually outgrowing and evolving as an individual. So, congratulations, you've already achieved this video already. So I'm going to give you a bit of a stretch metaphor, if you like. Think of your life as a book, and each chapter is a phase of your life. Some chapters lead and weave into each other. Some come with new ideas, new information, change of location, change of characteristics, or bringing in new characters into a different chapter, and your overall character development. Well, this is you. Your life is a book, and a book when you're reading it, it evolves, it changes. Your perspective of reading the book also can change depending what you are reading as well. And I think that is important for all of us to remember is that we should be changing and adapting ourselves as human beings because if we don't change or if we don't adapt, then we are just stuck in one place, in one time, and the whole world is changing around us, but you are just stuck in your ways. But to begin with, you may be thinking, Ashley, why are you here? This is some strange location. I've never seen this in one of your videos. Well, right now, I am currently in Nottingham and I came here to visit one of my friends and I've had an amazing time. Why do we outgrow? And for me personally, looking back at things, we sort of outgrow old versions of ourselves because they no longer work. For example, if you are a young person who's watching this video and you've changed schools, you have a different routine and you have different classes, different people, different teachers, etc. And already you're having to change and adapt yourself as an individual to make it easier, make new friends. Again, it's a difficult thing, but it's a very helpful thing. And speaking of friends, these are individuals that will come and go without you throughout your life. People do say friends, they come and go, family stays forever. And I kind of disagree with that because I do think some members of your family you might disregard. I know there are lots of people out there who are part of the LGBT plus community who do no longer speak to their family because of the homophobia or the transphobia that they have faced. So, what about other means of outgrowing? One could definitely be your change of location, or you have got a new job and you've realized that the old routines, the old way how you used to live no longer works for you anymore. So, what if you are an individual who has changed location, you've moved close or afar, you are someone who's got a new job, and it might be a completely different new job. You might have different working hours compared to your previous job, and you have to outgrow some of those versions of yourself, which is also, again, important. For example, if you are someone who's used to working 9 till 5, but now all of a sudden you're working 8 till 4, or you are someone who just works constant night shifts instead of working throughout the day, you are going to have to change and adapt and outgrow those old routines. And I do think it's important as well to try and keep the same routine for a little while and see if it does work rather than just changing it instantly. And if it still works, that is great. You can still carry on. If not, we do need to change some things up. And you need to prioritize the things that matter to you the most, whether that is health and fitness, whether that is journaling, reading, any hobbies that you do. If you have any commitments, you need to reshuffle them around. So, being able to be adaptive is very key. So, I want to give an example. And one thing I want to touch on is traveling and how I've changed and outgrown old versions of myself. My first solo trip was going to Paris, and I remember being scared, and it was hard. I did a lot of planning prior going to Paris. I'd map my routes of where I'd walk, I'd map which metro stations I'd be going to, the metro lines I'd be going to. I pre booked all of my attractions that I wanted to see. And I also researched every single restaurant that I wanted to go to. Now, when I was in Paris, however, that went out the window a little bit. I did still commit to the metro lines that I used to, because the metro lines that I had picked, they crossed all of the attraction areas that I wanted to see. So fast forward into now, I went to Paris back in 2018, I believe. And I would say I have outgrown myself and I have outgrown in a good way. I've adapted, I've become more confident with solo traveling. Hence why I'm in Nottingham by myself. I actually do enjoy traveling alone now. And it just gives me that excitement of going to see anything that I want. Here in Nottingham, I was just able to freely walk. I looked on the maps a little bit just for a little bit of direction, but I wasn't stressed before coming. I wasn't planning all of my routes. I wasn't planning all of the restaurants I'd be eating at. I just decided to walk around and go with the flow. I think that is changing a lot. That is very good change. And that has taken years and years of experience. Now, don't get me wrong, I have been on holidays with friends and family as well. But when it comes to going and traveling by yourself, it can definitely most be scary. I think going back to Malawi in August last year, I was scared of that. But I'm not going to say I was fine, I was perfect, nothing really happened, to be honest with you. No, I was scared. That is the furthest I've travelled away from home ever. I was obviously by myself and I had to pass through several countries to get to Malawi and again to get back home. So I thought I'd just turn the exposure down a little bit. It's starting to get quite bright now. I don't know why. This British weather, honestly, each day in spring is confusing. It's either hailing, it's raining, it's snowy, it's cold, it's warm. It hasn't quite decided what it wants to do just yet. Outgrowing old versions of yourself does take a lot of time. And you might not realize it, but you who's watching this video right now, whether you are in your early 20s, your late 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, you have already outgrown a lot of old versions of yourself already. You've done amazing things. You probably have started a family, you probably got married, you probably traveled a lot of the world, you have started the blog, you started baking again, you picked up a new hobby. You have outgrown old versions of yourself and you've started to find things that you find enjoyable. You've released things that no longer suit you and your current life situation right now. Again, that is you outgrowing old versions of yourself. Also, I just realized the time. It is 8:45. I have to be checked out by 10 o'clock. And I've still got a bit of packing and tidying to sort. So let's get packing and let's finish it all off. And I'm going to carry on talking about outgrowing old versions of ourselves. Let's go. So, one thing that I have become more confident with, I've noticed over the years, is not feeling too shy when meeting new people. So, an example for myself, I had to do this particular training for work, and I was the only one that went, and I was a nervous wreck, to be honest with you. However, going throughout the day, it was okay. I sat next to one particular person, and we worked a lot together throughout the day. And that's all that matters as well. You know, you don't have to be friends with everyone that you see. You can just sort of rely and bounce off one other person because that other person might also be feeling the same way. And so everyone is there for the same purpose, the same thing that they've been asked to do. It is just a matter of how you react to it and how you can cope with being in that room with that sort of experience as well. Oh, so it turns out that I can't talk and pack at the same time. I feel like I just need to talk to the camera because you can't really see what I'm doing. I only have my camera right now. I don't really have my tripod to do a look down version, a top down version, if you like. I forgot to bring my magnet thing to get some good angles because it is quite a few metal pieces up there to get a good top down angle as well. So I'm going to finish this video here, and I hope it's not an abrupt ending because I really need to get out of here. So what's the time now? It's 8:57 and I need to finish off packing and also find a place to have some breakfast. I just have a protein shake just to get rid of the milk that I'd bought as well. And so if you have enjoyed this video, please do give a like down below. And if you have reached this far, congratulations, you are in the top 1% of people who have made it this far of watching my videos. Please leave a comment down below of something that you have noticed that you have definitely outgrown, whether that is something very small or something very large. It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, you have achieved that, and that's something that is amazing for you as well. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.